My stepdaughter walked all over me and called me a drama queen for mourning for her dead father, so I was done and signed off her custody. My late husband has a daughter, Mikhaila, from his previous marriage. She was 9 when we got married. Her mom was attempting to alienate her from us. She talked junk about me. Keep in mind that my ex knew very little about me. Before anyone asks, I didn't break up the marriage. They divorced when Mikhaila was 5. I met my husband 2 years later. His ex still wanted him back and kept telling Mikhaila I was why they weren't getting back together. My husband was the one who left her because she cheated and had no plans. He was in a long court battle to get more time with Mikhaila, but it's safe to say that Mikhaila didn't like me and felt like I was the witch who was keeping her daddy from her mommy. I tried to bond with her, but she rejected me time and time again. Together, my husband and I had 3 children. A little after our youngest was born, when Mikhaila was 13, her mom was arrested and sentenced to 15 years in prison. My husband received sole custody. It was a big adjustment for Mikhaila. We got her into therapy. She still wanted very little to do with me or her siblings. I went to therapy with her, but eventually, the therapist said that the best thing I could do was give Mikhaila space. Pushing the issue would just make her away. The therapist also told Mikhaila she didn't have to like me, but she did need to treat me like a human being, and as I always respected her, she needed to respect me. Mikhaila did not listen. She called me horrible names, said nasty things to her siblings, and kept asking her dad to divorce me. It led to a lot of arguments with my husband because I was giving her her space, treated her with kindness, and was her punching bag. He said she had been through a lot, but I truly think it's because she was nice to him. Even her therapist was concerned, but nothing changed. Mikhaila is now 15. My other 3 children are 4, and 2. My husband passed away 6 months ago. Initially, I took custody of Mikhaila because her only other family was her maternal grandparents in another state. Mikhaila even said she wanted to stay with me and be near her friends. I kept her in therapy, but the treatment got worse. I tried to understand. She's lost 2 parents in a short period. She's stuck with a woman she was conditioned to resent and 3 little ones. I've tried everything while balancing my grief and handling the little ones. It came to a head a couple of weeks ago. Mikhaila was out. I put the little ones to bed. I ended up having a good cry because I was just so stressed and missing my husband. Mikhaila came home and asked what was wrong. I told her. She began calling me a whiny drama queen, saying now I know how her mom felt when he wouldn't take her back. She called me a bunch of terrible names and kept following me to taunt me as I walked away. I finally locked myself in my room. After speaking to my therapist, I realized this isn't good for my mental health. I called her grandparents and said I'd sign custody to them. I asked them to get her sooner rather than later. When I told Mikhaila, she started crying. She begged me to let her stay. I said no, if I'm so awful or such a witch, she shouldn't be here. She said she didn't mean it. I looked her in the eye and said she's been saying it for 6 years. I'm finally setting her free. She won't have to deal with me or her demon spawn brothers, her words, ever again. She said her grandparents have a lot of rules. I told her that's a shame, but maybe it will straighten her out. It was the harshest I've ever been with her, but I couldn't keep up the kindness. They came to get her within a few days. She didn't say goodbye. Her grandparents have maintained contact with me and told me they're getting her a new therapist, and she'll attend a new school in the fall. I said I hope she does better. My husband's friends find this all to be incredibly cruel. She says I should have tried more. That shipping her off won't do any good. They say it isn't what he would have wanted.